You might want to be a little careful with this week's Pearl store, as PA knows exactly what they're doing. During the 2-week break from patches, PA snuck in a small update to the Pearl store. Even though it may seem minor, it actually plays a pretty important role in the overall Black Desert Online Pearl store cycle. Here's what I mean. Last week, we got the 1+1 Pearl boxes, which by the way, are still available until October 16th. This means that a lot of players are sitting on extra pearls right now. Next week, we'll be getting the universal Halloween costumes, which a lot of players will want to buy. So this week's smaller update is designed to take away as many pearls as possible to make players run out before the Halloween outfits drop. Now that doesn't mean that this week's Pearl store is necessarily bad, but it does mean you should be a little more careful and cognizant of some of this week's sales, since a few of them can be a little bit misleading. With that out of the way though, we'll jump into the first item, the Sweet Premium Enhancement Box. The Sweet Premium Enhancement Box is a bit of an odd one. It's not your usual RNG box, and at its base price, it's honestly one of the worst deals we've seen in quite a while. These boxes were originally released as a part of the Badumped RNG boxes, where they showed up as a high tier reward. Since then, they've been popping up more often, bundled inside other boxes like the Ultimate and Radiant Enhancement boxes. But unlike those, this Sweet box is now being sold by itself and at full price, something we don't normally see. The base cost is 1,710 pearls with no discount, which may make it look like a new RNG box release, but it's actually a rerun. Compared to newer RNG boxes, it's just not competitive. The newer ones, like the Blacksmith Shiny boxes and the Rare Adventure bundles, usually offer around an 80% off discount equivalence, or 65% off if you only care about crons. If you're unfamiliar with discount equivalents, it's simply how much cheaper, on average, it would be to open a box like this compared to buying the item outright. This Sweet box, though, only has about a 53.7% discount equivalence, or a 37.4% discount equivalence for crons only. Now, that's because its total average value is roughly 3,691 pearls, or 2,731 pearls if you only count crons. Now, even though this box contains only crons and enhancement stacks, it's just not high enough value to be worth it. In most Pearl Store sales, you can buy crons and stacks directly for a much higher discount without any RNG. That being said, there are some packs that include this Sweet box, which might add a little extra value, but we'll have to take a look at those next. Moving on to the Sweet Premium Enhancement packs, they're being sold in bundles of 5, 15, and 30. Since the smaller bundles usually have worse value, we'll focus on the 30 packs as that's the best case scenario. Now, this pack is a little bit interesting as it puts the Sweet boxes themselves at a 30% discount, and it also comes with one Transcended Premium Enhancement box, which is one of the highest tier boxes in the game. That Transcendent box alone gives an average of about 15,300 pearls worth of crons, which definitely boosts the pack's total value. If we take the value of 30 Sweet boxes and add the Transcendent box, the total comes out to roughly 126,000 pearls in overall value, or 97,000 pearls if you only count crons. Since the pack costs 35,910 pearls, that works out to a 71.5% discount equivalence overall, or about a 63% if you only care about crons. In practical terms, that means that each pearl you spend gives roughly 0.79 crons. Now, that may sound decent, but compared to modern RNG boxes, it's just not competitive. The Ultimate Premium Enhancement box, which is still available this week, offers better value across the board, with around 67.4% cron discount equivalents, making each pearl give 0.89 crons. So even in the best case, the Sweet Premium packs fall short. If you didn't find the Ultimate packs worth buying last week, there's really no reason to buy this one now. Even with discount coupons, the Ultimate Pack will still be better all the way up to a 50% discount coupon. Overall, I wouldn't recommend buying any of these Sweet Premium boxes or their bundles. Just like I mentioned earlier, these sales are designed to quietly drain extra pearls for minimum value. That said, we do still have the 500 pearl deals and a few other smaller sales this week, which might be worthwhile depending on where you are in the game. Moving on to the 500 pearl deals, we've got quite a few of them this week, and their actual value ranges quite a lot. Every item's price is different, and their discount varies anywhere from 50 to 70% off. Now, on their own, none of these are insane deals, but if you already want to buy a specific item, they can be worth getting. Just don't feel like you're missing out if you skip them. The standout packs for me are going to be the permanent account upgrades, things like maids, Nader's parchments, item brandstones, and even storage expansion boxes. Do keep in mind that different town storage vary in price, so going for the 225 pearls will be much better than going for the 150 pearl ones. The rest of the items though in this section are okay, but not must-buys unless there's something you already want. Now of course, at the end of the 500 pearl section, we've got two tricky items, the Gleaming and Intriguing RNG boxes, both being sold for 500 pearls. These are absolutely ancient boxes, some of the first ones I ever covered on this channel, and unfortunately that doesn't bode well. Older RNG boxes usually have weaker rewards and a low average value. Looking at their original prices, the Gleaming box used to cost 340 pearls, and the Intriguing box was 180 pearls. Getting 3 Gleaming and 6 Intriguing boxes for 500 pearls is roughly a 50% discount based on their original prices. But for RNG boxes, that's not really what matters. What matters is the average value you get when you open them. For the Intriguing box, the average comes out to about a 70% discount equivalence, while the Gleaming sits around a 68% discount equivalence. That might sound okay until you look at the cron value. Because these boxes mostly give random filler items, the cron-only discount drops to around a 5% for Intriguing and a 16% for Gleaming, which is extremely low and not worth it under any circumstances. Of course, if you happen to like the non-cron items in these boxes, they may have some personal value, but for most players, these are just outdated filler boxes that would need to be heavily discounted to even be worth considering. Moving on from the 500 pearl deals though, the last notable deal this week is the five-maid bundle at 40% off. This one's not all bad. If you need a lot of maids right now, it can definitely help, especially since it comes with a 10 purchase limit. We do sometimes get sales for individual maids at 50% off or more, so this pack isn't the best we've seen, but still decent for players looking to stock up quickly. Think of it more as a solid convenience buy, just not an amazing deal. But that's basically it for this week's Pearl Store sales. It's an interesting week. Like most post 1+1 sales, it really feels like PA is trying to take back those bonus pearls that we just got. Keep in mind, this might not end here. Even with the Halloween outfits coming next week, PA could layer in some unusual sales, so definitely keep an eye out. If anything noteworthy pops up, I'll always cover it here, so stay tuned for next week's breakdown. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below or join my new Discord server, as I check both and try to answer as many questions as I can. Either way though, I hope you all learned something from this video, and I hope to see you all next time.